Okay, so the website is public.tableau.com. You can download the software. So the software that you'll download is the desktop version that's used to build the workbooks. And then there's a server version also where you publish it. And the good thing is that the server version is available for free. So what you are seeing here is the server version, and basically it just adds your name to it. And this is my published workbooks on the website. So if you use this workbook, if you use this link, you can access my stuff. And if you create on, I can access yours. So we can share stuff. We can even get a link. Now, what is Tableau and why we need to learn it? Tableau is the world leading data visualization tool. So what it means is that we are all in technology, which is a very good field. Technology is a very good field, but there are various sides to technology. One is the deep technical side, the operating system, the databases, the middleware. Those are the deep technical sides. And then there is the user side, which is how the business can benefit from technology. Now, unfortunately, some people, because the technical side is so detailed, some people get into so much technical that they forget why we are doing this. So that why is the business side. So, and the people who are on the business side, they know what their business problem is and what they are trying to do, but they are not technical enough of how to do it. So there is a gap between the people with deep technical skills and the people with the business domain knowledge. I think Tableau is a tool which brings them together. Because if you want to take meaning out of your data, you have to be able to visualize it. Because just by looking at numbers, because we are discussing big data, so there are lots of numbers. If you've got 1 petabyte of numbers, you cannot get meaning out of it. So meaning out of it, you have to make it understandable. For example, SAT score of 2200. It's just one number, but if it's 22 out of 2400, you understand that this is a high number. It's relative to 2400. So it's just one number, but that tells you what kind of student he is, if he can get that kind of score. So you have to bring all the big data, you have to bring it down to numbers that you can understand. And sometimes visual analysis helps because you can see pictures comparison. So this is the visual analysis tool. Now, previously in the traditional data warehousing world, you had to build you had the online systems which had a database. We used to follow Kimball methodology. Kimball used to build star schema. We used to build star schema in the data warehousing. Then we used to build marts to roll it up because the detail level was so granular that the queries will not perform. So we had to sum it up, build marts. Then we would build cubes on top of it. So this was the traditional. Microsoft is following the traditional as well. IBM is also that. Tableau is the leader which broke out of that tradition. It's a new way of doing things. Tableau breaks that barrier. You can go directly against any data source. Oracle, IBM, Microsoft, you can go directly. And instead of building the cube, it has that cube technology built in. So it performs fast. And you can connect data, you can visualize. So the way it works is there are 3 types of things in Tableau. One is called a workbook. Workbook is a sheet. Workbook has a sheet, which I'll give you a demo. But sheet is like a Excel, but it's more graphical. So that's a sheet. So that's the first level. Then you build a sheet. Then from that you build a dashboard. So dashboard is basically a combination of sheets which you organize on one screen, because at the end of the day a user can only see one screen. So your sheet can be very big, but the sheet is only conveying one message, if you want to look at different things, one sheet will not do it. So you build a dashboard. So the dashboard, there are different technologies. Microsoft has also dashboard technology. But the Tableau is a very easy to build a dashboard in Tableau. So there's a sheet, there is a dashboard, the second, and then there is a story. So story is a combination of sheets and dashboards. So story is like a story because you tell a story about a data. And that's why when I'm going to talk about Tableau, I'm going to link the business world with the data world. And this is a skill that is really needed. So to do that, you have to tell a story. Like a movie is the story. But this story is about data. How your data is doing, what are things doing well, what are things that are not doing well, what time of the years they are doing well. These are some of the questions. So, and Tableau is a tool which helps you answer those questions in a way that you don't need programming. Again, this is a great advantage of Tableau because these questions are already there. How is my business doing? What are my top 10 best sellers? How do my sales compare with last year? What did my sales rep do this year versus last year? How is my territory performing this year? These are all the data questions. So to do that, to answer these questions in a traditional way, you had to build a data warehouse, and you have to have reports, and you have to have programmers and developers. You can bypass all of this now with Tableau. You can go directly and start asking these questions and start answering those questions yourself. So let me give you an example of this story. This is a story, and it starts with how our sales are doing. So you see it's visually. So the green says it's profit, and red says it's a loss. So this is a profit of $100,000. This is a loss of 29. So this is based on the actual numbers. And then you can see which part of the world you are profitable, which parts of the world are, and you can click on it, it tells you where it is. And you build all of this without writing a single line of code. And you know, this is conveying meaning. You bring that a tooltip is coming, you don't have to do any coding, it's built in. So what you are seeing is that, okay, right now you see California, it's doing well, but you see this area, Texas has a problem. So from here visually you see the entire world position. Philippines has a problem. Australia is doing well. So this one screen is telling you numbers, and you did not have to bring any geocoding, anything. This is a built-in facility. So this is a story. So this is our overall business. But story has multiple views. So this is the first view. Then you go to the next one. So now previously, if you look at that one, this is like filters. The first one, I'll go back. This is a filter. So I was looking at everything. Now I came down. I'm looking at furniture. So you drill down. So this is the world view, same world view, but now I've narrowed my focus. Instead of looking at everything, I'm looking at furniture. So if you look at the profit numbers here, it changed. Previously it was 99,000. The maximum furniture was 26,000. When you see that California was dark green in the previous one, now it's not that dark green. There are some others red that appeared, Illinois. So it's a different pattern. Again, this is a story. So now you're drilling down into furniture. So a category. Then now you want to look at your category. Furniture was a category. Now you want to take a little deeper dive and look how your categories are doing within subcategories. So if you look at this, your copiers are really doing well. Oh, that's my Facebook is on. So copiers are really doing well. But tables, you see, tables have a problem. So visually you just saw this. Now you drill down, and when you browse your cursor over it, you saw that it highlighted because it's getting a loss. So we are going through a story, and then you drill down more on tables, and now this is a further drill down and on furniture, and you are seeing that this furniture is all red, so you are drilling down. So you build this story. Now, but to build the story, you have to build different sheets. So from the sheets, now this is the entire thing is a workbook. So now, right now, I'm showing you one workbook, and everything you are seeing is not coming from my PC. Everything is what you are seeing is coming from the server. So it's coming from the Tableau public server, and all of you have access to it. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. You have a question?
In order to see this, do you have to have the local installed?
No. So what I did is I built the workbook. I built this workbook myself, and then I publish it on the server. So what you are seeing is the published workbook.
So on the server, anybody can run it without having the local.
Yeah. So to view Tableau, you don't need you don't need to have built it. I built it. Anyone can view it. But
where will it pull the data?
It will pull the data. That's a deeper question. So we will go into that. So
one quick question.
yeah.
I mean, once you go on the website and you register yourself, and then at that point in time there are sample sheets and
Right.
stuff like that you can look and
Yeah.
build on top of it.
Yeah, you can build your own. So I built this one. So the exercise we are going to do, because we have a time limitation, but we will do that exercise, is we are going to build this workbook. But basically, it's not just about drawing the lines or drawing the charts. It's about answering a business question. So I think in this class, we will talk about Tableau, but we will talk about Tableau from the business point of view, what problem we are trying to solve. So if you look at here and what we are looking at, so we are looking at category furnitures, office supplies, technology, and this is sales by month, and we are seeing how sales are doing. For example, if you look at July, it's a downward curve, and in September it's high, but in July. So basically it's like a school year trend. When the schools are down, the sales are less, but as soon as the schools start, the sales go up, and this happens in all the categories. So this is you can build a cross tab. So this you can see in numbers, and again the darker is good and the red one is not that good. So if you look at here in technology, is really great green here. So this September, October, November, December are really doing well. It's really green technology. Office supply is also green, but if you look at furniture, it doesn't have that kind of green, and furniture also has some red, and this red is in the month of January. It's actually we had a loss here. So from a visual you can see, so these are all the tabs to my workbooks. I'm just showing you different tabs of the same workbook. Okay, so this is the example I showed you. Now if you were to do it yourself, so our objective is that everyone in this room, whatever we saw today, should be able to do it yourself. And my role is to guide you and enable you how you can do it yourself. So now let's get to it. How are you going to do it? So this is what we want to do. Now, how are you going to do it? So how you're going to do it is you're going to download a Tableau public, which is free. But you're going to install it, and so when you install it, you'll get an icon. So you open it up. So right now we are at Tableau release 9.2. So you're going to get Tableau release 9.2. So on the right side, you go and you see view all. You click on this view all. So Tableau has a ton of training videos built in with sample data provided. So someone asked me the question, I think Ali Bhai asked me the question, where do we get the data from? So for all our exercises, all the sample data is provided, so that you don't have to generate the data. Yeah, all the data is provided. So you're going to use that, and videos are provided. How you're going to do that? So it's different categories. So if you look at the first video is getting started. In the getting started, there's normally the videos are 4 to 5 minutes, but only the first video is longer, is 23 minutes. And that workbook that I showed you, this 23-minute video will show you all the exact clicks that you're going to do to build that entire workbook that I showed you. So that's our first exercise. So you're going to build a sheet, you're going to build a dashboard, you're going to build a story. That entire thing, the video is this one, getting started. So you can watch that video. So what I'm going to do in this class, I'm going to follow this syllabus. So the first one is how to build that workbook that we discussed. Second is, and then there are smaller modules, interface, distribution and publish, how to distribute. That then is connecting to data, how you can connect to different type of data sources, data blending, these are topics, these are all discussed. Then visual analytics details, how you do sorting, grouping, creating sets, working with sets, how you do that. Dashboard and stories, it goes into more details, how you build dashboard, how you build stories. Mapping, you can use the built-in mapping provided by Tableau. You can enhance it doing your own stuff, so that goes into detail. Calculations, you can do your all calculations, everything without doing any coding. Calculation is coding, but it's very simple coding. Then is the Tableau server, if your organization wants to install its own server. Then there's a version of Tableau online, which is if you don't want your online server, there's the Tableau online. Then there are some detailed video on some specialized topics, and again there are some another video on some things, and then there's some videos on. So I think we are going to follow this syllabus. Now after we are done with this syllabus, first I think we should all go through this syllabus, and then what we should do is, I'll show you another thing. I have a link here. I have to find that link to my folder. I'll show you my folder. Like, I collected some stuff for you. So go to my documents and Tableau training class. Tableau has a certification, and I would not recommend going for certification first. What I would recommend is go do all this video first, understand how all these things work. Once you know, then Tableau has certification. There are two types of certifications. One is the desktop certification, and other is server certification. Server is for the backend people, how to manage the Tableau server, and front end is how to make these things. So we will be focusing more on the front end stuff. So these are the guides which tells you how do you prepare for that exam and what is covered in that exam. So it tells you sample questions, and so how do you find top 10 of your best customers. So these are business questions. How are you going to answer them? So the test is business related. It's a business question. How are you going to use Tableau to answer it? Strike rate, yearly customer. So these are some questions. So So it's providing a sample of what to expect in the exam. So this is like the first level of exam. This is the higher level, certified professional. And this is the second one. The first one is this one, the associate. So first one is the associate. So professional is more directly to the questions. This is more technical. For example, it wants you to know all these things first. What are data connectors? What is a parallel query? Organization, simplifying data, filter data, sorting data, chart types. What type chart? What is a scatter plot? What is a cross tabs? What is a heat map? What are bins? What is motion chart? What's pie chart? What's bullet graph? So you need to know all these things. What is visual cues, fields in data window, fields on shelf, calculations. What are different types of? What is level of detail calculation? Uses for LOD calculations, types of LOD calculations. So we are expected to know all these things. Mapping, type of mapping, dashboard, statistics. So this is all covered in this exam. And then again, this sample questions. So this exam has two parts, some knowledge base and some hands-on. They'll give you a problem and you need to solve that using Tableau and answer that questions. So it's part of the exam.
Sorry, Omar, who conducts this exam again?
So this exam is conducted by Tableau. So the good thing is the world has changed. Previously, you had to go to a center to give an exam. You had to go to a classroom. You had to go to a university to give the exam. This exam you can give from your home. It doesn't. It's an open book exam. You can give it from your home, but they're going to give you a question and you have to answer them within the time specified. So if you're trying to find what a pill is, what a chart type is, you're not going to complete it. So you have to know the stuff to do it. And if you want to know, so you just Google Tableau certification. Tableau certification. So you go here. So the first exam is the desktop. Right now with the 9 series, the exam fee is $250. So you should only give the exam when you're ready. It's an expensive exam, $250. This qualified associate exam is. Now there are some classroom courses available. So there's a fundamental course, there's an advanced course, but that course is $2,000 each. So we are going to do it here.
Exam fees is much better.
Yeah. So 2000 course fundamental, 2000 advanced. And even if you do these two courses, you cannot clear the exam just by taking courses. So it says in addition to these courses, you need 5 months desktop experience, because you need to be familiar with how to do these things. It's not just to take the course and take the exam. You need to how to do this. So this is the $250 fee. Then the next exam is the professional. The exam fee is alone $600, and it's more on visual analytics. And they have the exam prep guide which I showed you. So the thing is, instead of spending those $4,000 on taking those courses, if we are nice to each other and learn from each other, I'm willing to teach for free. So
and we can always donate to the masjid.
Yeah.
Since I was late, I'm not sure how much I missed, or just looking late.
Yeah.
You might have already answered the question.
No, you can.
I'll ask you this.
Yeah.
I was not part of that. Obviously, as you said, this is more a tool for somebody who owns a business to manage how their business is doing, right?
Right.
So maybe some of us are business owners and they will use this tool to benefit their own business, but many of us, including myself, are employed.
Right.
So we want to look at this tool to
So let me.
And what are the financial benefits of going in that direction as an employee who work and do this for the company they're working for? If you please elaborate a little bit on that.
So the thing is, what I showed you is the free version of Tableau. So many people do not know that Tableau has a free version, and you can do a lot with the free version. You can't do everything, but you can do. Tableau is actually a very expensive product, and it's a world-leading product of BI. So this is the field of BI, business intelligence. So let's look. Let's go to Gartner report. Gartner BI quadrant. BI quadrant. So then you rely what we are talking about. So Gartner BI quadrant. BI is the hottest field because people have, all the companies in this world have accumulated so much data, they don't know how to analyze it. So what we are talking about is how to analyze the data. The skill we are talking about is how to analyze the data. So this is last year. The things are slightly changed, but last year this is a chart which shows you completeness of vision is on the right side and ability to execute. So there are different vendors in the business intelligence area. How complete is their vision? And so you can have a nice vision, but it's too difficult. You need a ton of programmers to do this. So, and the ability to execute, how easy it is to execute your vision. So all the big names, even IBM, SAP, SAS, these are much bigger names. Microsoft, MicroStrategy, Oracle, these are heavyweight names. They are all behind. Tableau is a world leader for completeness of vision and ability to execute in the business intelligence area. And our focus is business intelligence. Business intelligence means how to get meaning out of your data. So the Tableau has professional products. The Tableau Professional is $2,000 license, and there's $400 a year maintenance fee. Tableau Server is $1,000 per user maintenance fee. So license one, if you're 100 user license, that means $100,000. So that's the stuff that organization use. So they use the actual server version, the desktop versions. But to learn them, you don't have to have that. We can learn it using the free version. So what is going to be the benefit? The benefit is going to be, if you use the Tableau free, you can build graphs yourself and visualize data yourself. That's one. But if you go a step further and you go towards certification and you go deep into Tableau, Tableau is a highly sought out skill, and it is, you'll have to check what the market is, but it's a very high-end skill. It's not a low-end skill. It's a high-end skill. So you're talking like 100 plus, 100,000 plus. A Tableau expert shouldn't. It's the 100,000 plus if you're an expert at Tableau. And but you can't just become expert just by watching a video. There's a lot of content and there's a lot of guidance there. But we can do it. And the good thing is, another point I want to mention is the job, type of jobs. Because what I see is, like, we're all technical people and we can learn anything. We can learn anything very technical. But the thing is, there are many people in India, there are many people in China, in Pakistan, in Philippines who are also very good, and who can also learn technical things. But they cannot come to US because they do not have the visa, but they can work there. And because of this cloud and this globalization, what companies are doing is offshore model. So most of the companies are utilizing deep technical skills offshore. So instead of you spending your time in learning a very deep technical skill, which a person sitting in India may be able to do at 10th of your cost, and the organization will find it cheaper to get it done outside. We need to focus on skills that cannot go outside. So there are some things that cannot go outside. One is talking to the users. This is a business analyst skill. So for talk to the users, you have to be present. You have to interact with the users face to face. And we are all sitting in New Jersey, so we can go and talk to the users. So, but nowadays, like in our organizations, for a business analyst position, we do not want anyone who can just talk. We want a person to be able to do prototyping. He should have enough skills to discuss with the user what he wants and then make a prototype and show it using data. So with Tableau, what we can do is you can sample data, you can create an Excel workbook and then get visualizations and what you want, get the requirement from the users, and let the deep technical work be done by the offshore team, because it's cheaper to get it done offshore. Why would you like to have 50 programmers sitting in New Jersey doing this? Why not use Bangalore for that? But prototyping has to be done here. So what I see myself, my future is I want to be more towards the business analyst side and more on the visual analytics side. And I feel, because I'm a computer professional, I can learn any technical skill. But the best way to learn is to teach. And that's why I'm teaching it. And there's a saying that knowledge increases by giving. So that's, I think, enough talk. We have 4 minutes left, I think. Okay, 7 minutes left. So why don't I talked a lot about Tableau, but let's build something. So the thing that we try to do, let's build it. So this is public version of Tableau. So I just clicked a tab and I went in and I'm picking up my file. So I'm going to build something, right? And this is the same thing I'm building that I showed you. So it's from the Excel spreadsheet. So there's an Excel spreadsheet that has the data. So
is that yours or is that downloaded?
no, all the data is provided, sample data provided. So yeah. So for practice, sample data is all provided. So this is a sample worksheet. So now Tableau has another facility. You can build using Excel and then you can change the connector and connect it to the database. Because as long as your column names are the same, it doesn't matter if you are pulling from Excel or database. So this is Excel of our sales. Because we have a very limited time, I'm not going to go to Excel. But this is the Excel we are reading. It has different tabs: orders, returns, and people. So what I did is I pulled this Excel into the workbook. Okay. Now I double click here and select my orders. So it connected with it, automatically showing the preview. I go to the sheet tab. So it automatically builds the dimensions and measures automatically. In the data warehousing, we used to do these things. It takes months to build your dimensions, to build your facts. It did it on the fly. So a dimension is anything like a discrete, and measure is like profit, sales. So let's see. So I'm picking sales. So it automatically brings the graph. Now I select country. So it's showing country. I can change the graph type. I don't want it in this graph. I want it. So the graph that we were showing, it's just called build in seconds. Okay. Now let's build another one. The category graph. So sales. category and subcategory. Sorry, I want to have sales. I want to have category, and I want to have subcategory. And what graph type I want? I want a now. So this is showing our sales by category and subcategory. Now I want to see how the profits are doing. So I put the profit on color. So you see how easy is it? Now there's a trick thing. There's a trick here. It's so easy to use that they don't need any technical people, because the business user can do it themselves. Clicking this and making this needs no computer science skills. But this is the tip of the iceberg. These things are very simple to do. Click, click, click. But type of questions you ask. So when you ask a little more detailed question, okay, now you want to do this, now you want to do that, now you want to do that, then things become complicated. And the business user say, oh, it's too difficult for me. So that is where we come in, like people with more technical background, that don't just write it off that it's too easy. If you go into detail, it's not that easy. It is easy, it doesn't need programming, but it's not that easy. So the business user faces difficulty and he says, simply say, oh no, it's too difficult. So what I'm trying to say is that creating very simple visualization is very easy, but if you try to do something a little more complicated, it needs a more technical skills. So yeah, I think that I will end with this for today, and we can discuss. We have a few more minutes to discuss, but I'm going to end with this, and then I'll stop the recording.